episode number 12 of Ask PK, where you ask me questions and I try to answer them. Today we'll be talking about pain and meditation. How do you deal with pain that arises in our meditation? The question has been asked by Dvitya Sengupta. I hope I have pronounced your name correctly. So, here's the question.
A lot of us usually carry bad posture. Keeping the back straight while meditating can bring on a lot of discomfort and pain. How do we deal with this pain? Also, it is mentioned in Punk that we sit cross-legged. Is it okay to meditate on other asanas like the child's pose in yoga?
So let me start with the posture. Okay, the whole idea of the posture is basically that it should be stable. It should be something which makes you feel relaxed. At the same time, it also enables you to be alert, right? So you have to have stability, you have to have alertness. At the same time, you have to be relaxed. So there's a balance that you have to strike. You don't have to be too tight, too anxious, and you can't be too casual. It is something which is relaxed, stable, and you are alert when you are in that posture. So these are the 2-3 things that are necessary. There are 2-3 different postures that you can take. There is a Burmese style where you place one foot, one leg. In this fashion. So this is the top view of that. Right, so I will be giving you a link of an article where you will find a few good postures. So that's the first point. Okay, so always remember to be relaxed, stable, and alert. Now that being said, let's try to understand 3 different types of pain. All right, the first type of pain is a really unwholesome pain, a pain which does not really serve us in any way. So you can take an example of putting your hand in fire. That's an example of unnecessary pain, unwholesome pain, and you want to avoid such kind of pain, right? So that is unwholesome and you should totally avoid that kind of pain. The second type of pain that we experience in our meditation sitting is just the pain of not being used to the posture. So when we start meditating, we are just not used to the posture of sitting cross-legged, sitting still for a longer duration of time, and hence because our body is not used to it, we suffer from some pain. But that pain does not last long, because as we get used to the posture, it slowly starts to disappear. The third type of pain, which is probably more long-lasting than the other 2 types of pain, or the second type of pain, is actually a good type of pain. Okay, and that is basically because of our conditioning. Okay, so basically there is a deep connect between the mind and the body, right? So for example, when we get scared, we get goosebumps, or when we are anxious, we get palpitations in our chest, or when we are embarrassed, we feel our face going hot, going red, whatever it is. So there is a connection between the mind and the body. So it is said that there are many things that we have pushed behind a wall, and those things, as spooky as it may sound, those things have kind of accumulated in the body. So those knots and tensions are accumulated in the body. That's why it's said that when you are really stressed, the tension accumulates in your shoulders. Okay, so when we experience that pain, what is happening? You're basically being exposed to something that you have pushed behind a wall, right? So for the first time, as you are relaxing, that pain is showing itself because you have pushed it behind a wall, but now it is slowly starting to show itself. And this is a good type of pain, because the things that you have pushed behind the wall are slowly starting to come out. So you need to experience that pain. All of us need to experience that pain. Okay, so one thing that we always need to remember is that this is not a practice of feeling blissful. Meditation or mindfulness is not a practice where we always have good thoughts, happy thoughts, where we always feel calm. No, it is a practice of opening up. It is a practice of opening up. So let me give you an example. I wish I had my diary right now. Imagine a circle and imagine a dot in it, right? So you are the dot and the circle is your comfort zone. Now when you start feeling anxious, or when you are suffering from an overwhelming emotion, or let's say pain, all of those things mean that you are just at the edge of the comfort zone. So this dot has moved to the edge of the comfort zone, right? And this is where the real growth takes place. Our natural tendency is to pull back because we don't like the uncomfortable zone. So our natural tendency is to pull back. But we have to remind ourselves that, oh, the most interesting part of the practice is here, because how will we grow if we don't expand this circle? The ultimate aim is growth, it's openness. So we need to expand this circle. So Gautam Buddha will not have any boundary or any edge. For people like us, there are boundaries which we have to keep on flirting with. So as we get closer to the comfort zone, we have to in fact be happy that, oh, discomfort is here, oh, pain is here, let me explore it, let me be with it, let me understand it. Okay, so this is a good type of pain, which is also known as dharma pain. So we need to embrace it. Obviously it's difficult, but it's a part of everyone's practice. Now, that being said, there can be unwholesome pain, like you said, the pain that we have probably created because of our bad postures, or because of any medical condition, right? So I am not a doctor. Disclaimer: I'm not a doctor. So don't sue me when I say this. If you have any physical discomfort which is long lasting, which has been with you for quite some time, this is not the solution. Meditation is not a solution for that. Go visit a doctor. All right, but you have to identify whether this is a pain that we experience in the practice, or if this is a pain that is because of a medical condition, or because of because we have been sitting in a wrong way, or standing in a wrong way, or running in a wrong way, whatever it is. So is it injury, or is it a part of the path that we have to figure out? One way in which we can figure that out is that if the pain goes away once you get up from the sitting and you start walking, then that was a good pain, because it is not lasting. It is just a temporary pain. But if the pain is not going away even after the sitting, then you probably need to reconsider your posture, or maybe you need to go and take some treatment for that. All right. Let's say if you're in a sitting and you're experiencing terrible pain, what do? You don't change your posture right away, because again, like I said, you have to flirt with the comfort zone. You have to be okay with the pain. We are building up mental resilience as we sit down for meditation, right? So when you feel the need to move, or the urge to move, observe that thought, that, oh, my body is resisting, my mind is resisting pain. Observe that tendency of the mind. Then when there is when you have a thought of, when you feel like moving the leg, make a note of that thought. Oh, my mind now wants to move my posture or change my posture. Make a note of that. Then again, as you become aware of these things, you will find that as you become aware of the pain kind of tends to, the intensity kind of reduces most of the times, right? Again, when the pain arises, again when you feel like moving it, again note all of these thoughts. And if you realize that at one point of time that you are not being able to focus on anything else except the pain, if it is becoming really overwhelming, then you just make a mental note that, okay, wanting to change, and then slowly you change the posture. So again, I hope you can get the balance. It's about getting away from your comfort zone, but not at the cost of harming yourself or being too strict or too rigid with yourself. There has to be a subtle balance, which is, so on one side there is discipline, and one side there is self-compassion. So don't be too indisciplined, don't be too casual, don't change your posture after every 2 minutes, and don't be very hard on yourself that, okay, no matter what, I'm going to sit. No. So strike a balance between the two. That's the other thing to look at. Also, please note that as we expand our awareness to in Punk, for example, you will see that we expand our awareness to all the objects during the later weeks. During those times, pain becomes an object of our awareness. So in fact, pain is something that everything is an object of awareness. Our thoughts, our emotions, our body sensations, everything. So pain is also one of those objects. So as we become aware of the pain, you are more skillful in working with it, because it is not something that needs to be pushed away. It's not something that needs to be clung to. It's something that we need to observe as a scientist, right? So with open awareness, you are able to work with pain more skillfully. The last point that I want to address is the child's pose. So I personally would not recommend the child's pose as a beginner. So it is not about which pose makes you feel good. It's about getting the best, because pleasure is not always happiness, or pleasure is not always progress. So I would highly recommend you sitting on the ground, assuming that you don't have any physical discomfort, or if you don't have any medical condition. If it is too uncomfortable on the ground, you can sit on the chair maybe with your back erect, and stick to those poses and not the child's pose, because as a beginner it is difficult, or even as an intermediate meditator, it is difficult to maintain your focus and concentration. So if you start with the lying posture, or some other posture, it could be a bit challenging for you to really focus your mind. So I would recommend that you start with a really stable position. As we go ahead, obviously we have to be mindful in everything that we do. So that means even when we are lying down, we have to be mindful of our sensations, of our breath, of our emotions. Even when we are standing, we have to be mindful of that as well. So that is a part of the practice, but the bulk, or the main position as you start this journey, is the sitting position. I hope this provides you some insights on the posture and the pain. Okay, so thank you guys. Because of you, I can do things that I love doing. So much gratitude. Keep asking me questions. I'll try to answer them. Till then, take care. Bye.